know you guys enjoyed a great meal, and I know you guys have had some beverages, so in the words of Elizabeth Taylor, as she said to her last husband before her death, I promise you I will not keep you very long. So it's my pleasure and distinction to introduce a very good friend and a colleague in Clifford Rosenthal. When I was thinking about what I wanted to say in introducing Cliff, I was talking to my wife, who's a graduate of Temple University, and she reminded me of a story that her professor used to tell her about the founder of Temple University, Dr. Russell Conwell. And it went something like this. She told me that he used to say, her professor that is, he used to say, in ancient Persia, there was a wealthy farmer who left his home to seek some greater wealth, and spent time in really what amounted to a fruitless search for perhaps the mythical diamond mine or fawn. Finally, as age and years of frustration took their toll, he threw himself and died an unhappy pauper far away from home. Meanwhile, someone else settled into his estate. The new owner, surveying the vast acreage, he saw something in the stream, something bright, something glistening. And he realized as he approached it that it was a huge diamond. And it represented the beginning of the fabulous Gotham Hall. And the moral of the story, as I talked to my wife about Cliff, the moral of the story is simple. Your diamonds are not in far distant mountains, nor are they often in distant seas. They are often in your own backyard, but you must prepare to roll up your sleeves and do the work to dig for them, to explore the land and find those diamonds. There is no better person that I know than Clifford Rosenthal, who has done the work in tilling and digging the land to find diamonds in his own backyard to support low and moderate income people in our country. Since 1983, Cliff has been president and CEO of the National Federation of Community Development Unions. We are one of their larger investors and one of their initial investors. And when we invested in them, we knew that it would be special, but we did not know that Cliff, and under his leadership, the National Federation, or the Federation as we call it, would invest over $100 million in community development credit unions, supporting low and moderate income families nationally. That is an outstanding statistic. Cliff, as a leader and a pioneer in this space, realizing that it wasn't enough, has pushed the parameters for us to look at mortgages, small business lending, to look at savings, and other things that we need to create a sustainable community. But what's most impressive about Cliff are the other things that don't appear in his title. He's an outstanding father. He's a phenomenal son. He's a wonderful husband. And he's one of my close friends. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating a truly outstanding community leader and visionary in Cliff Rosenthal.
Thank you so much for this. And I want to especially thank the other nominees, the other awardees, Parent and Harris down. I'm very honored. Tonight I want to thank the Lawyers Alliance and all of you here today for the recognition that you've given me. Coming from an organization that's meant so much to the community development credit union movement, it means a great deal to me. For those of you who appreciate early Bob Dylan, I'd like to borrow from a couple of his songs. Not sing, however. And since I'm in this robust body, I think I should probably provide the footnote, which is supplied to me by my daughter, Maynard Rosenthal. So as reported on NPR on May 10th, a 2007 study by a Tennessee law professor found 186 citations in court filings and scholarly legal publications of Mr. Dylan's lyrics, including and up to Justice Scalia and Chief Justice Roberts. So I think we're on good grounds here. And for those of you who may not be a Dylan fan, I need to let you know that it was more than the Beatles, more than Bruce Springsteen, and yes, even more than the Rolling Stones. So the first lyric, it ain't baby. You can feel things in the Yes, I played a key role last year in advocating for the Community Development Capital Initiative. We kind of call it the Good TARP. This was a portion of the TARP program that Treasury made specifically available for community development credit unions and community development banks. But as usual, the CEO gets the credit and the staff does the hard work. I'm very sorry that the person who did so much for us was coming in from Madison, Wisconsin. He landed 10 minutes ago on an awful flight, and he's turning around and going home because he could not get here. But I just want for the record to state that probably Felipe, our membership director, did more than any of us in the Federation to make this program happen. So for this award is most of all, this award is about the credit unions that toil every day to provide credit and banking services to low-income people around New York City, but from Vermont to Alaska and Hawaii. And I'd like to ask them to stand to be recognized. Toward the back of the room, Medex Federal Credit Union South Bronx. If not for the Lawyers Alliance, we would not have been able to bring $70 million in vitally needed capital to 48 credit unions across the United States in this incredibly complex deal that was really not designed for us in mind and had all sorts of pitfalls and legal complexities that we had no idea in the beginning. If not for the Lawyers Alliance, pure and simple, we would never have gotten through. If not for the Lawyers Alliance, the community development credit union movement in New York City would not have become the strong, vital force it is today, with 30 credit unions from the smallest to very substantial ones in low-income neighborhoods throughout this town. If not for the Lawyers Alliance, the regulations we sought to interpret and to change over the years would have remained only as handcuffs on it. If not for the Lawyers Alliance, the innovative financial products that we community credit unions have introduced would not have come about. If not for the Lawyers Alliance, and I know this personally because it all started that way 20 years ago, the program-related investments that we gave Gotham foundations would not have happened. I still remember the first bit of pro bono assistance our Federation got in negotiating with the Ford in 1989 for a program-related investment of $1 billion, which was really big money for us then. And a lawyer from the Lawyers Alliance that came to us from Theory helped us, and we would certainly not have been where we are without that. And finally, all the real estate transactions that we've been involved in for credit unions for the Federation would have come off really badly and not well. So, thank you, Lawyers Alliance, for the support that you've given us over the decades. Special thanks to Neil Stevenson, who's always been the first with such a variety of projects, and even today are working with us to try to figure out new ways that we can work together. And to all of you who are here tonight, who've made the work of Lawyers Alliance possible, thank you so very much.